Let me tell you something straight off the bat here, lads. Okay. Now, today we witnessed a Monaco Grand Prix that might not have had the wheel-to-wheel fireworks of Silverstone or Spa. But, oh dear Lord, this was a chess at 200 miles an hour. And the king of Monaco today, okay, none other than the smoothest operator, you gotta admit right now, Lando effing Norris. He did well, you gotta admit. Stuck it on pole, held his own, brought it home. And yeah, maybe it wasn't the most thrilling races in terms of overtakes, all right, we gotta admit it. But make no mistake, this result will be remembered because what it does to the championship is nuclear. And Max Verstappen, oh, buddy, you little slow down pit stop trick at the end, cute, strategic, maybe close to brilliance. Nah, it didn't work though. And now we've got a four-man death match heading into Spain next weekend. This season just went from tense to psychopathic.
Walsh running the Irish green, and look at the move he's making down to the inside.
Moves to the front from fifth all the way to the lead in lap one.
Walsh takes win number 2.
Peter. Walsh.
Okay, lads, let's address the elephant on the track. All right, Monaco, it's a bitch for overtaking. Simple as that. It's a bitch. Always has been. Always will be. The glitz, the glamour, sure. The champagne-soaked billionaires on yachts. It's all hiding the truth that once qualifying's done, you're playing defensive chess on a razor's edge here. And that's what today was. A cage match in silk gloves. Lando had to defend like a man possessed. He really did. He was under a lot of pressure today. He knew it. We all knew it. He had the car, the setup, the track, the position. And behind him, Max Verstappen, well, actually in front of him, really, chewing at the bit. Oscar Piastri right there, hungry as hell. And every single one of them knew, screw up here, and you're in the wall. And Monaco doesn't forgive. It ends weekends, man. And the conflict wasn't car to car, it was mental. This was a psychological war. And Red Bull kind of blinked. Now, let's roll it back. Now, Lando has been kind of flirting all year with lads, really, hasn't he? He's had the pace, the confidence, the bravado, but not the consistency. And meanwhile, Verstappen's been driving like the angry landlord of Formula 1, owning everyone, throwing his weight around, pulling moves that like they came out of a Bond's villain's playbook here. I mean, and this track, this was supposed to be his, really. The guy's won here before. He knows the rhythm. He knows the stakes. But this season's different. Red Bull's dominance is cracking at the seams, lads. The Norris-Piastri combo is making McLaren look like a resurrection story. And, you know, you throw in Russell and Leclerc in general. Now, obviously not for Russell today. God love him. But Leclerc playing chess with knives. And welcome to the new F1, lads. Coming into Monaco, we had a three-way title fight. You could call it maybe 4, but let's look at it really 3, okay? Lando, Max, and Oscar, all separated by the points gap that makes stats horny, man. And George Russell kind of leering around the shadows now. Not a good result for him today. So yeah, every single lap matters. But one mistake, one bad call, and your title hopes can get flushed into the harbour. Here's where it did get a bit wild here, lads, you know? Now, we'll go through the points there now in just a moment, and let me tell you, lads, it's so exciting. It's amazing. And Verstappen and Red Bull decide to gamble on a pit strategy, okay, as we all saw. We all knew that they had to do 2 pit stops today. So why were they doing that? Well, to try and keep things more interesting, right, obviously, and they all had to do each tyre compound at one time. So it was a nice way to spice things up. For Monaco, though, the problem with Monaco is that you can't overtake. So that's the problem in the general. You're not going to really get through. Well, look, I guess in a way, look, why not? You know, you can't blame the officials for trying to do something for Monaco, you know. And Red Bull, they knew they couldn't pass on a track, so they tried to play chaos. Lap after lap, Max holds the others like a traffic warden in rush hour, backing up Piastri, backing up Leclerc. He's trying to create a domino... Norris, sorry. He's trying to create a domino crash behind him. That's exactly what he was trying to hope for, okay? something, anything that gives him a clean window to pit late and undercut everyone. Now, he waits until the last lap. Now, he leaves it so late, the camera crew probably had their bags packed, you know? And now, why was he doing it? He was hoping that sooner or later, the boys behind him would have an accident. Now, hold up everybody enough, somebody may go for a huge, heavy hit or a huge overtake, right? And then all of a sudden, game on. Game on. So that's the thing here, lads. And, you know, he had to be careful too, Verstappen, because if he slowed up too much, let's say the guys in second, third, and fourth had a big collision. Verstappen was hoping that would happen. Then he comes into the pit lane. There's enough of a gap to go on and win. But the problem was he had to be very, very careful about slowing up too much, because if he slowed up too much and if the boys behind him did have an accident, then he was actually, if he slowed up too much, he would have been at the risk of the guy in fifth position catching up, and therefore he could win the race, the guy in fifth. So it was a very tough one for them today, lads. And Lando, well, he just kept his head and down and drove like a veteran. He did very, very well. That pole position yesterday, that was the dagger, man. That today was just twisting the blade. McLaren nailed the pit stops. They nailed the strategy. They nailed the composure. And Verstappen, he walks away with a few points, sure. But the mental loss, massive, lads. This wasn't just a race win for Lando. It was a bit of a statement. I'm not your sidekick anymore, Max. I'm here to take this. And this championship just became a cage match between Oscar Piastri and Lando Norris. Now, Verstappen's still in the game a bit, but today was a huge striking blow. Huge striking blow. Spain's next weekend, so we're back-to-back, guys, which is great. No break, no reset. We go again. And you better believe Red Bull are rattled. The perfect image of dominance, gone. Shattered. Guys, I mean, I'm looking at the points right here. We've got Oscar Piastri on 161. Lando Norris 158. 3 points behind. Max Verstappen, he's on 136. He's 25 points behind Piastri. So, okay, Piastri's got a race win in hand. Problem is, if he does have a DNF, Lando Norris can sweep up. Now, that's the thing. One race win, lads, it's not much of a gap here. This is not over. Believe me, it's a nice little cushion, but look at what happened today. These guys, there was nothing in between them. Was it 12 points or something, I think, before today, or maybe a little bit more between Verstappen and Piastri, but 17, I think. Anyway, but it wasn't that much, right? Now, it's a race win. So, like that, flick of a switch. Verstappen does well in Spain next weekend. The two boys take each other out, and it's game on. So here's what we're left with, lads. So Monaco, yes, it was a bit of a snoozer. Okay, I will say that in terms of raw action. Let's not BS here. But the implications, possibly earth-shaking. This was the race that cracked the championship wide open. This is going to be, it could be a two-man racehorse here, lads. We've got Spain next weekend, Canada coming up. The calendar's relentless. There's no more room for games, no more cheeky strategies. It's time for raw pace, real grit. We're at the third way mark of the season. Third. So, Lando Norris is now the man with momentum, possibly. He's got a target on his back, and two boys ready to sink their teeth into him. Ladies and gents, we're in a golden era of Formula 1, and Monaco 2025, that was the calm before the storm, lads. Grab your popcorn, buckle in, and bring on Spain.
Walsh running the Irish green, and look at the move he's making down to the inside.
Moves to the front from fifth all the way to the lead in lap one.
Walsh takes win number 2.
Peter Walsh.